what is up? So I'm in a car filming this video because I just dropped my brother off at the dentist and obviously I can't go in, so I'm killing two birds with one stone. Now today's video is going to be Netflix recommendations, and this is going to be the only video that you will ever need to watch. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear my car running. It is really hot today. Let's just get started. I have categorized all of my recommendations, and the categories are cartoons, love, thriller, and random. And all the categories and the times that they start will be in the description, just in case you want like a specific one. And I don't have a comedy category just because every comedy show that I've watched I've never laughed at, so I'm not gonna recommend any. And I've watched a lot more than these, but I actually like all of these. So we're gonna be starting with the cartoons. The first cartoon show that I will recommend to anyone is Star vs. the Forces of Evil. I give this TV show a 10 out of 10. It only has 4 seasons. Star vs. is literally like the best show that I've ever watched, but in the first season it is really cringy and it's really predictable, and basically the whole first season is just the exact same storyline, really repetitive. It's that storyline where like the bad guy wants something powerful that the good guys have, so he like tries to get it, and then the good guys defeat the bad guys type of thing. But don't worry, because the second season does get really good and there's more personal stuff happening with the characters, and the love story, it's just so beautiful. It's just so freaking beautiful. My next cartoon that I really love is Miraculous. I guess not a lot of people know about it, but it's a really good show. It's a lot like Star because of how repetitive it is and about the bad guy, good guy scenario. Instead of just it being one season, it's literally the entire show. It's just bad guys, good guys, superheroes. I guess to balance it out, there's a love story, but also keep in mind that it's also really cringy and really predictable. The main character, Marinette, and the boy, Adrian, go to school. Marinette has a crush on Adrian in school, but they're both superheroes. Like their secret life, they're both superheroes. They don't know that. In superheroes, you're not supposed to know like their identity. They're not supposed to know who they are in the real world. While they're superheroes, Adrian is the one having a crush on Marinette. So it's like Marinette doesn't want to like him because she likes someone else. It's just like, little do they know, it's literally each other. So I rate Miraculous a 8 out of 10, and it only has 3 seasons. And there are so many close calls in this show where they almost find out each other's identity, and it's like, how would they react if they know like if this is them? The next show on this list is Beasters, and keep in mind this is a really weird show. It is an anime. It's about predators and prey like just going to school together. It's literally an R-rated Zootopia. So I forgot I was doing ratings for a second, but I rate Beasters 7 out of 10, and it only has 1 season. Yeah, I watched Beasters in like 2 days maybe. So the main character is a wolf, and it's just basically a wolf doesn't want to be eating prey like everyone around him, because and that means that his crush on like this soft little bunny isn't a crush and he just wants to eat her, but he doesn't want it to be that way. He literally just wants a relationship without like any prey or predator labels. It's really cringy, really uncomfortable, R-rated, but other than that, like, it's pretty okay. Next one is Secret Life of Pets. This one's a movie. I rate it 10 out of 10. It's really cute. I don't really know how to describe it though. It's just what pets in the movie do. Next one is also a movie, and it's The Croods. I give The Croods a 10 out of 10. Family movie, kind of funny sometimes. It's basically like about cavemen. The main character daughter like thinks differently than the rest of her family. She wants to explore and she wants to like try new things, while everyone just wants to stay in their place. And then she meets this other human and just take an adventure like outside of their comfort zone, and it's just like a little adventure. Next movie is Turbo. Rate is 10 out of 10. It's just about this snail. He's living in his little snail family in a garden. Then I forgot what happens to him, but then he gets like all of a sudden really fast. His family doesn't support it, so he just like leaves. And then he meets this person, and this person needs money, and this snail wants to race, so then he starts racing with race cars. The next one is Wai Fang, and I rate this movie 10 out of 10. And the movie is basically like this whole dog's journey through his life. Like in one journey he has an owner, the second journey he's like a sled dog, and he just goes through like different situations and stuff. So the next one's also a movie. It's The Little Prince. It's actually a really cute like chill kind of movie. It's about like this little girl. She starts talking to a neighbor. I think he's like an old guy. He just tells her this tale about this little prince that lives on an asteroid and it turned out to be true. I think she like helps him do something. I don't remember the details, but I'm pretty sure like the whole movie is just a metaphor. The next category is gonna be love, and this one's actually my favorite. My first recommendation is Beauty and the Beast, and I rate the show 10 out of 10. It has 4 seasons, and it's basically about this detective who has like a case where she finds DNA at a crime scene, and she tries matching the DNA, and it's a dead guy's DNA, so she's like confused about it. She's like, this guy has been dead for this many years, why is his DNA at a crime scene? Anyway, she finds like the last known address, and then she goes asking questions, and eventually she finds the guy. The background on the guy, he was in the military, and in the military they were doing like these experiments. They were injecting him with things, making them like superhuman, I guess. So with the military experiments, like they killed everyone who was experimented on, so like their secret wouldn't get out, and he escaped, so that's why he's hiding from them. And yeah, they just like fall in love, and then they solve crime together, stuff like that. The next show is The Vampire Diaries, and if you haven't watched The Vampire Diaries, probably should. It's probably like must have show that everyone should probably watch once in their life. I don't really know how to describe it. It's basically like a girl, she meets vampires. I guess she falls in love with one, but then eventually falls in love with the other one. I don't know, but it's just a lot of drama, a lot of love, and a lot of vampires and werewolves and witches. Also, the rating is 10 out of 10, and it has 8 seasons. The next show is The End of the Fucking World. The show has 2 seasons, and I'm rating it 8 out of 10, only because of how awkward it is. Like, I could feel the secondhand embarrassment through the screen, but it's purposely made to be so awkward. But other than that, it was a pretty good show. I watched it. Basically about these like 2 people that go to school, and one of them wants a friend, the other one is looking for someone to kill. She just goes up to him and like asks to be friends or something, and then they hang out, and then he's planning to kill her. I guess he ends up liking her, but then she ends up running away from home, and they go together, and then they accidentally kill somebody, so then they're on the run for murder. Next show is Jane the Virgin. It has 5 seasons, and I recommend this 10 out of 10. It's basically just about Jane. She's a virgin. She's never had sex, but ends up pregnant. She went into a doctor's appointment for something, and then she accidentally got inseminated because the doctor messed up. It's basically just about like her life going through her pregnancy, and then having the baby, and life with the baby's parents. So moving on to the next category is thrillers. These are just recommendations that really like give me anxiety, just have me at the edge of my seat like the whole movie or show. First one is a movie, and it's called Triple Frontier or something like that. Triple Frontier. I recommend this movie 10 out of 10. Basically about like 5 former like special forces people. They go on a mission to steal the drug lord's money. So like when they get caught, like it makes the drug lord really mad, and then he goes back after them. Yeah, it's a really like stomach wrenching adventure. Oh. Next movie is actually one of my favorites, and it's called Time Trap. 10 out of 10 recommend for you to watch it. It's a really trippy movie about a group of friends that go like looking for this missing person in a cave because he's been missing for like, I don't know, 20 years. When they go into this cave, the time is so different that a few minutes in the cave is literally like decades outside in the real world, which seems so crazy to me because it makes you think if you were in their position and they were only there for a little bit of time, everything they knew was just gone. Decades and centuries have literally passed out in the real world, and they were just there for a few minutes, and they end up finding the missing guy, and he was only there for, you probably guessed it, you know, like a few minutes. And that's when they realize that they can't really find a way out, and it's really kind of scary, kind of trippy, really trippy. So the next show is Between. It has 2 seasons, and I recommend this 9 out of 10. Basically about a town that has a disease and like kills everyone over 21 years old. Basically everyone has to like fend for themselves, so it's all about survival. And then main characters, they try escaping, and it just comes with a lot of action and stuff. Next movie actually made me so stressed out, like it wasn't even funny. This movie is called Spectra. I recommend it 10 out of 10. It's basically about this like spirit or force thing, like in the shape of a person. It like gets awakened when like these military people are like going through a building, and this spirit thing is so fast it literally kills you instantly. All it has to do is go right through you, and you're dead. It's really powerful. Obviously everyone's like scared of it. Yeah, and like the military people are just trying to, I don't know if it's like go across states or something, to meet with this engineer, and they work together to like figure out like what's going on. The next show is called The Rain. I recommend it 10 out of 10. You can probably tell by the title. The Rain is just about rain that kills people, so people are kind of forced to like go into hiding, and the main characters are these little kids, and then they grow up and they're just like tired of being in this bunker for years, so they decide to go outside. With going outside is a lot of crazy people who have to survive in different ways, the ones who didn't have a bunker, and it's a little bit like Bird Box. And the next show is Supernatural. This show is really long. It took me a long time to watch it. It has 15 seasons, probably the longest show I've ever watched. I recommend this show 9 out of 10. Just because it's not for everybody. It gets kind of boring sometimes. It's also incredibly scary. I wouldn't say incredibly scary, it's just kind of scary. I know when I watched the first season, I got really scared and I got nightmares because I was scared. Now looking back at it, it wasn't really that bad. It's basically about these 2 brothers who lost their mom to a demon, so they're like kind of forced to grow up a little bit. Their dad is a monster hunter, and then they want to become a monster hunter too because they have a motive. Every episode in like the first season is a new case that they have to do, a new monster case, so they defeat monsters in every single one. Yeah, it's just about monster hunting and demon fighting, and yeah, and it also gets a little personal in the next few seasons because then it goes into depression, because even though they are monster hunters, they still deal with their own like traumatizing things that they've dealt with. Next show, I highly recommend you watch this. 10 out of 10. There's only 2 seasons. It's called Money Heist, and if you haven't heard of Money Heist, then you probably don't have TikTok. But it is originally in Spanish, so with the English audio over the Spanish lip movements, it kind of got annoying for me in the beginning, but I got used to it. Like, I didn't really notice it anymore. It's basically about all these criminals being offered a job to basically do the biggest money heist in history, and this show just has like so many smart plans. Like the movie is just so smart. It's just really good. It keeps you on your toes, and I highly recommend it. So I changed the camera angle because first of all my phone has been overheating because it's like getting dimmer and dimmer, and I was wondering why. The next show is Once Upon a Time. It's actually one of my favorite TV shows. I did watch it a long time ago, so I don't know how it is right now. A 10 out of 10 recommend it. It's basically just about fairy tale characters living in like this town as normal people because they don't have the memories that they have magic, or like that magic exists, or that they're any fairy tale characters. This kid, I think he's like the son of Snow White, and he just grows up with this idea that like magic's real, like this is real, so he knows, and then he tries like convincing everyone that they're fairy tale characters, that magic is real, you can do this, you can do that, and like obviously no one believes him and they just think it's because he's a kid. But eventually like everyone wakes up and it just gets really fairy tale-istic by then. The next show is Charmed. I 10 out of 10 recommend it, but there's 2 Charmed. The old one has 8 seasons and the new one has 2 seasons. I personally watched the new one. I've never seen the old one, but the new one is just a spin-off of the first one. For the most part, it does have the same story about the background of the characters. It's about 3 sisters who lost their mom, and they find out that their mom's a witch. So then they find out that they're a witch, and it's just them trying to figure out like how to do magic, and while there's still new demons are going after them because they're the most 3 powerful witches, because power of 3, you know. A lot of fighting between like the demon and witch world and witchy stuff, and yeah. The next show is Dynasty. I recommend this 9 out of 10. It's 3 seasons, and it also has Miss Jade West from Victorious. But I don't really know how to describe it other than it's basically about a rich family, you know, like having their issues and how evil rich people are. They blackmail their way up to the top or something like that. They have a lot of secrets and they have a lot of dark stuff going on in the house. The next show is actually one of my favorite shows. It's called Skins. I 10 out of 10 recommend it. It has 7 seasons, and the way I describe it is it's basically the British version of Shameless. This show is basically about teenagers having all these issues like depression and eating disorders and addiction and drinking and drugs. It just shows like every bit of all of that. The next show I recommend is called iZombie. I 10 out of 10 recommend it. This show has 5 seasons. I don't know why the show has just stopped randomly. Like they just stopped. They didn't have a season finale, they just stopped. The show is about a detective who like goes to this boat party, and then she gets scratched by zombies, so then she wakes up, she's turned into a zombie. She just like doesn't want anyone to know because she looks normal, but like her hair is white. And she was like a detective. She moves down and she gets a job at the morgue. She has to start living on brains, and that's where like she gets free brains or something. She realizes that with the brains she gets the dead person's brain's personality and the memories, and she uses that to like solve these cases and how these people get killed. And yeah, I don't know how long this video is gonna be. Those are all my recommendations, and I really hope that you got like at least one new thing to watch from this video. And I'm gonna go now. I've been efficient with my time today, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.